testing. Maybe I should record this because I don't know if it's gonna, if the audio is gonna take, and that would be not great if I recorded all this and then there's nothing to hear after. Anyways, this is my live update. As I've been trying to put out videos, but a lot has happened, I guess, recently. So I even wrote some notes down on my phone just in case I would forget. So I was having my college finals about the second week of June. And I started coming down with a lot of weird illnesses, and I've dealt with parasites before. Sorry if that's TMI. It's more common than people think. People in America don't pay enough attention to having parasites, and we should. Spiritual and physical. But I thought I came down with it, but I think my liver was being hexed. I believe the liver is in the same spot. Because I know when I get parasites, it's like a really weird indigestion sensation, like right here on the right, on the left-hand side. Whereas if you just have indigestion, it's just like here. And if you have cramps, it's down there. But right here, I can always tell oh, that might be parasites or liver damage, but I don't do anything that would lead to liver damage at all. I eat very healthy. I don't drink anymore. I'm sober. I live a sober life. So that happened June 11th. And I had to go get papaya pills, and then the sensation immediately went away when I took papaya pills, which is kind of weird because sometimes parasites fight against you trying to take medicine to get them away. So I don't know. And then literally the next day I started having I'm sorry if this is TMI, but I feel like this is important for the gigantic theme of there's been a lot of black magic and voodoo being sent towards me in the past couple weeks, and it always surprises me because I feel like I keep getting stronger spiritually, but then a new challenge leads me to have to get stronger. So on June 12th, I started having a lot of UTI problems. And I'm thinking that, wow. As I'm talking, the middle right here of my head feels really uncomfortable. And I just took a spiritual shower, and I was like, wow, this is the best I felt all day since I woke up. Because when I woke up today, I woke up with that pressure on my head that I was talking about in my short. I woke up with pain on my eyes. And I just felt so tired. And because I don't know what ailment it is, I don't know what I should be eating. Because, I guess I'll explain the symptoms a little later. I'm trying to go chronologically through June. But on the 12th, I'm getting UTIs. And I realized that I live with a bunch of handlers. and energy vampires. And I realized that every conversation I had with them was them trying to do an energy grab. And since they know that my third eye is so strong now, they can't get anything past me. So their new mode of operation is to try and incite me and aggravate me, because it's not really enough for them to like try and do an energy grab if I'm just like, oh, okay, you're doing that. But if I'm not like reactive to it, like emotionally reactive, then it's hard for them to get anything. So they have to be insightful and instigative. Yeah. So, and it's uncomfortable because I can hear someone right out on the other side of my door now, purposefully, trying to eavesdrop. So maybe I'll just wait, or maybe I'll talk about something else and then go back to that. I'll talk about the symptoms I guess I've been having recently in the last 3 days. Would have rather this gone chronologically, but energy vampires have to eavesdrop. Their world revolves around me, unfortunately. They literally get so angry too when I say that, when like their world revolves around me. Like if I was wrong and these people were like emotionally stable, they would probably just like roll their eyes and be like, okay, whatever. But they get really freaking mad. Really mad. So, but yeah, I am just waiting a moment for my eavesdroppers to leave. I really wish YouTube would let us like play music in the background, because I would just play frequencies over them. So it'd be harder for them to hear me and harder for me to hear them. But anyways, back to the gross UTIs. I mean, everyone gets them every once in a while. I think most people, at least by my age, have experienced it at least once. And if you haven't, then you're kind of lucky. And I feel like they purposefully sent some energy like that towards me, because if I'm no longer talking to these people, they need another way to get me to come out of my room. And it was just really weird. Like, I mean, my brother's been doing this for a while, but it's just really weird. Like every single time I come out, he like has his bottle in his hand and he like looks like this, and like, or is getting a paper towel every single time I come out. It's really weird timing. And like the amount of times he talks about his water bottle with my mom when I come out is really weird too. Like that's all they talk about. Is just like eggs and water and straps and tape and jars, and they anything that would have to do with a binding spell. You can look up binding spells, like, and if I mention anything, then they want me to do that. They want me to mention something, so they'd be like, we don't have any intention of that. And like literally like it's like the whole room goes vroom, like if I say anything. So I just stay in my room. What's the next thing? So I felt like they were trying to get me to come out with like going to the bathroom more. So I mean, I will just admit this now, whatever. People used to do it back in the day. I use a chamber pot now in my room, so I like don't have to, um, you know, can avoid crossing paths with any people. And I don't like that, but that's how uncomfortable and hostile this environment feels for me to live in. Um, and I would literally basically like force myself to wait until like 3 a.m. to like go actually use the real bathroom or take a shower or something. And I don't use the kitchen anymore, so my eyes are hurting again. Um, I think the next thing between, right before Father's Day. So I'm 29. For 28 years of my life, there has been this like golden mail key that has been kept in a very specific drawer underneath our printer in the kitchen for 28, 29 years of my life. They've kicked me out of here before, and it is when I started mentioning, hey, I have like feelings that I might still have some inheritance left. Or I'm feeling like I'm not getting all the mail I should be getting. And it was that kind of same energy where if I mentioned anything, it was like just verbally, spiritually, just like everyone in the room go gang up. Um and so they just tried to make me look like the problem and the issue, and then even though I said I was going to leave, they tried to draw up like an eviction notice. And knowing my parents' methods at that time, I realized, oh, they want me to beg them to stay. And so I didn't. I tried to move to Southern California, and that was way too expensive. And then I had a couple other living arrangements that were also extremely abusive. I think I asked my dad if I could come back. Or I don't even know if. Yeah, I asked my dad if I could come back, but I wasn't begging. And like now when my mom brings it up, she tries to play it off as if I begged them to come back here. Because that's what a narcissist does. Um, and so back to this mail key thing. Even when they were like trying to evict me during that time, I'm pretty sure that they had the mail key in the public drawer. And now that I've come back this time, I've been getting a lot of intuitive messages that someone from the courts is trying to reach out to me. Someone else has been speaking in my name, signing my signature on things, trying to act like they can't find me. About a year or two ago, my mom tried to like very quickly have me change my phone carrier, and I lost my old number. And I just feel like I'm being kind of bounced back and forth between different handlers so they can try and act like I can't take care of myself, so they can try and hold some sort of power over something I might not even know that is like mine. Um, and so, yeah, my mom keeps the mail key with her now. And all of the mail goes into her room first, when for the last 28, 29 years of my life, it used to go on the kitchen counter and we would take our own mail. when I try to confront her about why is the mail key not being available to everyone now, she says that she doesn't trust me. But I check my mail like once a month. My mom also has 2 cameras on my freaking room. So, and she's trying to say, oh, well, you're a really vindictive person. I think that you would do something with our mail. And I was like, why would I be idiotic enough to do that? That's a gigantic crime. And she's like, well, you think I'm idiotic enough to do it? I'm like, well, I just have mail that the USPS has told me has been sent or has been delivered. I've had other companies, official government agencies tell me that things have been delivered and they're not here. Like, enough of them for it to not just have gotten misplaced in, well, the USPS even said it got delivered, so not even USPS. I even had a passport once because I ordered 2 passports before I got kicked out. One of them disappeared out of this room. So, me just like speaking up for myself, I guess, has led to me not being able to access she says, well, you can access the mail if I come with you. And I told her, like, that's exactly what a handler would want to do, is to tag along with me. And she wouldn't even let me hold the mail key. And to spite me and even try and instigate me even more, as I'm asking to just hold the mail key, she's like, here, Nick, my brother, here, you take the key, and hands it off to him. There are so many very aggressive, passive-aggressive ways that my mom says, hey, Nick, you have more rights in this house than Kristen does. All the time. If Nick wants to cook something in the kitchen and he needs some space because he has this workout regimen that is so important, that's fine. But if I ask for 5 minutes in the kitchen, like, I am asking my mom to go out of her way so much, and she can't handle it. Before I woke up, if I asked people like, oh, hey, where are you going? Like, oh, how long are you going to be? It was a simple question and a simple answer. But now it's weird when I ask that. Like, she can't possibly guesstimate like how long she might be, and she just knows that I stay in my room unless all of them are gone, because I feel so uncomfortable. But yeah, if I was a little skeptical about my mail being stolen, because like we live in a hoarder house, I kind of always like just tried to give her the benefit of the doubt. Okay, mail went missing because we live in a hoarder house. Easy for things to go missing, I guess. But then to not let me hold the mail key or check the mail without you, and then try and pin it on me that I'm being untrustworthy. She's never come to me and said, hey, I'm missing this piece of mail. Have you seen it? She's never come to me with that, but I've gone to her with that multiple times. Who's the matriarch that checks all of the mail and brings it into other rooms? Not me. And I tried to give her a solution too. I was like, hey, I have a Ring camera, because I told her, I was like, you have 2 cameras on my room. So even if you didn't trust me, like, you would be able to see that I'm only taking my mail. And she's like, well, there's no cameras from the mailbox to the front door. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm very innocent, like, person that doesn't commit crimes. I don't even freaking think of that? And I told her a solution, like, I have a Ring camera that's not being used. Can we put it on the other side of the house? Or, like, we're lucky that our mailbox is right in front of our house. Or I could put a Ring camera right there and you can see exactly what I do with the mail. From when I get it from the mailbox to when I go in my room. So I don't think her not trusting me around the mail is the problem here, because I'm still not allowed to check the mail by myself. And I got something delivered today. I don't know if it was put in the mailbox or not, but I'm too uncomfortable to even. She told me I have to ask her to go get mail. We nearly fight every time we talk to each other. So I'm kind of just waiting for my dad to get home so I can get my stuff. And the police, like, persuaded me, or suggested to me to get a P.O. box. I think I do have a P.O. box, but, like, if I've had IDs going missing and passports going missing, and, like, I don't mean to bring my sister into this because I haven't talked to her in a while, but, like, I have lots of cousins that could probably pass off as me. Like, if I have IDs stolen, like, who's to say, like, they can't just go in and check my P.O. box? And also, a lot of government agencies won't send mail to P.O. boxes, which I think is kind of lame. Like, there's a lot of homeless people in the United States that can only afford a P.O. box and not, like, a place to live. So I don't know why they do that. Maybe, though, the USPS should, like, track every time that my P.O. box is accessed, though. That's got to be a thing. And then that would have a paper trail of someone else accessing my mail. I don't know. And then it was Father's Day, and my family went camping supposedly, and they don't often ever, like, leave and stay overnight anywhere. So that was rare, and that was, like, amazing. I haven't walked around, like, my childhood home, like, that much in a long time. But yeah, they didn't invite me, but I know I need my space from them, and I guess they needed their space for me, but I didn't know it was like that until I talked to her later. Because you got in another argument later on. And she was, like, crying to me. She's like, we just needed a break from you. I don't leave my room to the point where I am peeing in chamber pots to avoid you. You're saying you need a break from me when my bedroom butts up to the kitchen, and so I have to hear them making all of these noises, which is fine. You know, they are letting me live here, but, like, obviously, like, just the dynamic, one person is way more subjected to, like, having to hear other people than the other way around. And I don't know, every single time I talk to them, it's like trying to instigate me. And I need to, like, document this stuff. I know that this is, like, I wanted to come out with tarot videos instead of, like, a life update talking about this stuff, but I know I need to. Like, intuitively, I'm being told that I need to, like, make these videos. She's like, yeah, she's like, I felt so bad that we couldn't invite you camping and everything, but we just needed a break from you. And I was like, I didn't react to it because I was fine. Being the scapegoat and the black sheep has hardened me. And then she like starts to, I kind of like told, I don't know, I started saying like, and it's weird too. She started apologizing and crying, saying, I'm sorry for anything I've did to make you turn out this way. But it's like, it was like kind of not her actually being sorry, but her like being like, I don't know what I did to make you be a horrible person in life. And I tried to explain to her, I was like, I don't know if I'm exactly being a horrible person. I'm just like kind of standing up for myself more. And I apologized to her about like, I don't always know how to enforce my boundaries. I feel guilty a lot. Sometimes I feel like a bitch. Like, I don't know how to enforce my boundaries all the time, and sometimes I get it wrong. And I I told her, like, I don't really want to, like, or I think she mentioned something about how we're not a family anymore. And I'm like, well, yeah. And I was like, I told her, like, I don't think you guys care about me if I try to express, like, a request or something to make me feel more comfortable. More often than not, I am getting yelled at for being entitled or being so selfish for even bringing it up. And I'm like, why can't we just have conversations? Like, just normal conversations. Um, and she told me I was being manipulative for saying that I feel like they don't care about me because I can't express things. And then in the next sentence, she told me I was being manipulative, and she's like, I don't even think you would care if we died. I was like, okay, double standard. We're just a family of double standards here and dysfunction. I had such rose colored glasses on about my family when I was younger. I thought we were like perfect, like, what is it called? Immediate nuclear family. My dad was my role model. Like, I believed that my mom's like biggest virtue was honesty. Um, yeah, so I don't know. Me and my dad don't really talk that much. Like, I can actually have like mature conversations with my dad. I don't think I've had any fights with my dad. But he says he just wants me and my brother to be adults about things. Um, and he doesn't really want to help us mediate things, which is fine. It's just kind of tough sometimes. I did give my dad some, what are they called? Some vegan cakes sweetened with dates. There's like this mango cake from Whole Foods, and it's so yummy. And a tiramisu one. I probably could have gotten more for Father's Day, but this has been the most awkward Father's Day or probably holiday yet. Um, and then June 20th was when I started getting my headache. Um, really weird too, because like it came on I think around like 8:30 on June 20th. Um, and then like half an hour later, like So someone that used to be my friend, it makes me really like sad because like I really like enjoyed hanging out with this person and like really supported them. Like, so like supported their dreams and their ambitions and everything. And thought very highly of them. But they are like my family, they are Freemasons, they are Satanists. And again, since I'm not interacting with my family anymore, they are sending in other handlers to try and gather information about me, or to try and like try to ask questions, like loaded questions, in a way that I say things that would make me seem crazy, so then they can bring them to these judges or court cases that I'm not even aware of and try and say, see, she's not in a she's not mentally stable. And so I have no idea like why, but I don't know if they needed to get into my room and they needed me away for the night. But a friend reached out and tried to ask me if I wanted to hang out. He always specifically reaches out to me using the numbers 2s and 6, and that's Freemasons and Satanist favorite numbers to use. I still don't really know why. I guess the 2 is like copycatting. It's like doubling up energy and trying to copycat it. And then I don't know what the 6 is really. So like tomorrow. Oh yeah, tomorrow. 4th. This is Satanist and Freeman favorite day, I'd imagine. So what's gonna happen tomorrow? I don't know. No. Okay. And then so he calls and I was like, yeah, I would maybe hang out, but intuitively I just like I need to stay at home and like meditate and take care of like my headache right now because it's like a really weird feeling one. It's like, oh, I guess I should have called you like half an hour beforehand. Then I'd be like, well, then I would be at your house with this headache. So I'm glad you didn't. And that too is like, oh, like surprisingly, my mom started letting me use her car, and then it started having issues. I don't know if my mom was like up playing the issues, so I couldn't use it anymore. I paid a lot into like car insurance just to be able to drive that car also, which is kind of lame. But I think that's also like a part of like being handled is like trying to make sure that I can't drive anywhere. So then when someone approaches me and is like, hey, do you want to do this? I'll be like, oh my gosh, I haven't gotten out of the house. So I think that's a tactic also. So I don't really want to go anywhere until I have ability to take myself there. I will say that out of this whole entire month, my mom has been, well, they've been really nice to let me live here. And they've been really nice to offer to get me Uber sometimes or help me rent a car. I haven't really taken them up on that offer because I don't really want to give them a reason to like be like, we're helping you out so much, you know. I don't want to give them leverage that or have it look like I can't take care of myself as much. Because like I have funds to be able to rent a car or get an Uber, not necessarily buy a car. And if I'm being gang stalked and handled this much, buying a car is not smart. They'll literally just do something to it right away. And it would just be like all of my money like gone. So that's why I haven't gotten a car. Like there have been times where I kind of have been able to afford a car like in the past couple years. And intuitively, like, even though I know a lot of black magic was like done to my car, if the black magic ain't hitting my car anymore, they're sending people to physically do stuff. So yeah, I had that headache. If I fell asleep and it kind of went away. And then as soon as I started trying to do something like productive, that was like creating art or trying to do something for my social media channels, I started getting a pressure on the top of my head again. And it feels like someone's pressing their thumb in my head. Ooh, and like I've dealt with other headaches, and it's really rare for me to get headaches. I notice it usually happens right before a full moon or right after a full moon that I get the worst headaches. I wonder why. And the only other time I get headaches is if I haven't drank enough or eaten all day. But yeah, that's also rare. This one is because usually my headaches are like by my temples and stuff and like around my forehead and like a band kind of. I think it's called a tension headache. This one is more of a pressure instead of a pain, and it's constant, like numbness. And it goes away when I sleep, but then I like woke up, I think yesterday, and like my vision kind of looked like I was like, felt like I was high for like a couple of seconds. And I was like, whoa. Like, or it also kind of felt like I didn't have my glasses on, but I did have my glasses on. So that was kind of concerning. And then, yeah, and so I didn't wake up with a headache. And then today I woke up with a headache out of a sleep. What's also weird is this headache goes away sometimes in the middle of the night. And it goes away sometimes when I sleep. And it definitely goes away when I take showers and I douse myself with a bunch of salt and other products that are supposed to cut cord ties and return things to sender. And this is probably the most relief I felt on the top of my head, but I don't know if I'm just getting used to it now, which is kind of concerning. And today I also woke up with a really sharp pain behind this eye. Like I've been getting like sharp, like kind of quick, acute pains, like behind my eyes at certain points. And then they've gone away. But yeah, I woke up with a headache and the pressure behind my eye for hours, and I just didn't feel like I could even really concentrate like on doing anything on my laptop. I tried to drink like a lot of water because I've tried to do a lot of research on like these symptoms I'm having. I'm really worried that it could be like a brain tumor or a brain aneurysm, but it could potentially be occipital neuralgia, which I guess is just like eye pressure. I wonder about glaucoma. What is glaucoma? I don't think glaucoma has sharp eye pains, though. Glaucoma does run in my family, but thing is, like, the worst. The grandma that had glaucoma, I think, got sacrificed, though. And the grandpa that got a stroke multiple times and died, I think, got sacrificed, though. So, I don't know if it could just be neck strain and bad posture, which is very much of a possibility because I don't leave my room that much anymore or move around that much. So that's a possibility. And my sinuses, the other day, like a few days ago, I thought it was someone doing something to my throat chakra, because I do tend to get like mucus here. As soon as I start like chanting something that's like a return to sender, or like chanting something that's going to help me manifest, I will like feel like. And there's been other times where I felt like someone in spirit was like going like this to me. But I got really weird pressure behind my eyes, or where my sinuses were. So it could be a sinus thing. But the sinus pressure and the neck pain and the eye pressure, that all can be symptoms of an aneurysm too. So that's kind of scary to me. And then like the most benign thing it possibly could be is that I accidentally gave myself vitamin A deficiency or toxicity. Which I think I posted about how I threw up immediately after making a coffee drink, which was really concerning because it was just oat milk, matcha, and mushrooms. I really kind of thought someone poisoned them. Because I've never had my stomach like react that quickly to ingesting anything. And I threw up. But I realized that my entire diet, every single thing I eat, has really high vitamin A. And no one ever talks about vitamin A toxicity, but apparently that can also produce a pressure on the top of the head here. And it's weird because I've had these pressures on the top of my head before during like times of like the full moon, or times I felt like there's a lot of black magic around me. And then they went away. And there are other times where I thought it was just because I was dehydrated. So this has happened a couple times in the last couple years. It happened before I woke up also. And it's weird because like my skull would literally feel soft and like it was like caved in, like a soft spot like a baby. And I would like tell my ex and he would just like brush it off and be like, it's probably nothing. Whoa. So the fact that this has happened before, maybe it's just a vitamin A toxicity thing, or it is just actually magic. Because I don't, or maybe I have had a brain tumor as well. I don't know. I'm kind of a hypochondriac, a little bit, if you can't tell. And yeah, it's the 23rd now, and I still have this headache. Every time I take a shower, though, it feels freaking amazing. And my head feels normal. And it feels normal when I get out and everything. But I mean, heat can relieve, like, probably occipital neuralgia. I don't know if it could relieve, like, aneurysms also. And then I was also kind of, it might be more of a spiritual thing of, like, maybe my pineal gland is, like, really shot. Or my cerebral spinal fluid is possibly not being circulating well enough. And apparently when you have kundalini like awakenings, it's much easier to like circulate that fluid. I feel like my blood flow is not circulating very well. And then that is also a weird connection because my dog just came down with spleen cancer, which is the most aggressive dog cancer, and it makes me extremely upset. But that is also like a blood vessel, like blood flow disease also. So it's really weird that me and my dog, like nearly at the same time, both are experiencing like blood vessel like issues. And I'm like trying to heal her, and she's like breathing really like a lot. She can't get enough oxygen, and apparently like a lot of like, I think things I researched, any of the things I named about my symptoms have to do with like a lack of oxygen also. So I don't know, it seems like a lot of voodoo is going on in my life right now, and I feel like my ancestors usually protect me more, and I don't know. I don't know. And that too, the other day, I like, oh, so like going back to the inheritance stuff, I was like asking, because after me and my mom got into an argument about the mail key, the cops had suggested that I also ask for an attorney contact. And I was like, that sounds like a great conversation to have with them later. Let me try that, I guess. And I haven't asked my dad yet, so maybe he would be willing. But my mom was really weird about it. Because it's like, apparently she knows, like, what happened in the wills. And maybe, like, the cops don't always know. They don't always know exactly how courts handle things, I guess. But they said that usually a lot more kin are contacted, at least when there is a will written, that a lot more kin are contacted instead of just like one. And so I asked my mom, she's like, I couldn't possibly like know like what that attorney's contact is. And I was like, well, okay. And she's like, why do you even want that? Like, didn't you already get like enough from like your grandparents? Like you got more than everyone else. Don't you remember that? And I was like, yes, I do. I'm honestly more concerned about why my mail keeps going missing than like any sort of inheritance I actually have. It's just the only thing to explain why my mail might be missing. And she's like, I don't know how to get the attorney's contact. Only your aunt has it. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, can you ask her for me? Because me and my aunt aren't really on great, like, talking terms. And she's like, no, you have to reach out to her. And I was like, well, if you care about me, like, you would help me maybe mediate that. And she's like, you don't say that. You're being manipulative. And I was like, and she's like, I don't want to look stupid asking her for the attorney's contact. And I was like, well, you wouldn't look stupid if you already know what happened with the contact. You can say, I'm the one that's curious. If anything, I would maybe look stupid, but I shouldn't look stupid because I just don't know. That's why I'm reaching out for the attorney contact to ask. And she's trying to play this narrative that I'm like schizophrenic or something, like, or crazy. Like, wouldn't the easiest way to like confirm that I'm like crazy or wrong about something is just to like help me get the contact to prove that I'm wrong? And And it's also weird too, like, that I can't just ask for attorney contact information, or it's twisted into me accusing people of stuff. Because of course I'm kind of like saying a few things like verbally to my mom, or I'm saying a couple of things on here, but like when I reach out to my other family members, why should it be a problem that I ask for an attorney contact information or ask to see the will? There should be no problem with that. It should be an easy, like, oh yeah, sure, let me get out my files. If no one's hiding anything or being weird, right? Like, regardless if I had something or not, like, why is it automatically accusatory? Especially with my Oma, because like she's a very sentimental person and I'm a very sentimental person. And she used to say I was always her favorite grandchild. So who even cares about money? What if there are other things that she might have wanted to pass down or something? Like, she was a psychologist. And I want to become a psychologist. She might have not written that in her will, but like if I were her, I would have given my granddaughter that was going into the same career as me, like I would maybe write like them getting my diploma or something as like motivation or something. So that's not even like a money thing, but a sentimental thing that could be in a will. But it's so weird that when I ask questions, people automatically are trying to say that I'm being selfish or greedy, when I literally live in the same clothes that I've had for 5 years and don't choose not to have a car, use phones that are like 3 to 4 years old. Like, I'm not, use glasses that are like 3 to 4 years old and have scratches on, like, and I still have money in my bank account. Like, I spend very frugally, and I wish I had more of an income, but like, not, I'd rather do it myself. But I also just, I don't know, just intuitively, like, these things feel really weird. And my mom was saying, well, you're going to have to ask your other aunt, your dad's aunt, for, because you're speaking about my mom's dad mostly and my dad's mom when it comes to inheritances. And I was the favorite grandchild of my dad's mom. And that's fine if like she had such high medical bills that there's nothing left. But, and like I have feelings that they're just trying to like give me like some sort of like fake doctored up will. I kind of think that's what they did with my eviction notice letter, is it wasn't even a real one. So like I want to contact an actual attorney and just ask. Yeah, I haven't asked my dad yet because I didn't really want to ask him around Father's Day and like pressure him and stuff. I feel like my dad handles this stuff a little way more mature, way more. But you know, like, and then with my dog getting sick and everything, like really sick, I also haven't really wanted to ask my dad about that stuff, and I've been wanting to wait. But yeah, hopefully I heal from whatever is going on with me so I can start moving things out a little easier. I feel very faint in the last couple days. So it's not really a great state to be trying to move heavy boxes back into a storage unit or driving, honestly. Oh, and then this was the creepy thing too. is that the first time I got like a really strong headache in the last couple weeks, I walked out to the kitchen and I had drank something and I immediately got like a really horrible headache after I drank something. And then my mom was like, "Oh, I just got this hibiscus tea, but like it gives me really bad headaches. Do you think I should keep drinking it? Because like, I don't know, like I had a stroke, so I would be worried." And I was like, "It's really weird." And it happens to me often when family or friends come and talk to me about like health issues, and then I have those health issues literally very quickly after, as if they're sending that energy to me. I think sometimes I'm also just empathic, that I also pick up on other people's illnesses sometimes without their intention being there, but I think it's more often the former than the latter situation. Uh, and then maybe that actually did happen, but like my mom and dad were talking about seizures yesterday, and they're like, "Yeah, well, she can't." And it was almost like they were smiling while they were saying it. It was really weird. It was like, "Yeah, she can't. If you have a seizure and you have more than one seizure in a year, you're not allowed to drive anymore." But they were talking about their family friends supposedly. So like, why would they have weird body language like that? Because they're sending that energy possibly to me for me to have a seizure so I can't drive anymore. Because they literally want me to be trapped at this house and never freaking leave while acting like they never wanted me here in the first place. It is the most Munchausen, oh my god, thing ever. I really do. Like, what would their lives revolve around if they couldn't revolve it around, like, oh yeah, she's such a lost cause and like we're helping her and she's like, I want to go move out of the country, which they would also act like I can't be found. I could be found on like every social media, like with public profiles, and have like a working phone number and the same email address that I've had my entire life. Like, I can be reached. But I think that's what they would play with whatever weird stuff is like happening with inheritance and everything. But I don't know. I think maybe because my dog is really sick, hopefully everyone will be getting along a little more easily to make things easier for my dog. I think my dog is like, I don't know what's going on with my dog, because I know that like sometimes your familiars like protect you. And it's weird because like my bigger dog would sometimes have the same like smaller ailments that I would, like in the past. Like if I'd be getting skin tags and stuff, she would be getting skin tags too. If I don't know, it's like weird. Like we just have similar ailments and stuff. So I don't know if that was like karma of them trying to mess with my health so much and it hitting my poor dog instead, or they haven't been able to. Maybe I'm being contracted to be sacrificed by the Freemasons or the Satanists, and they haven't been able to do their job. So then they have to sacrifice something else, and obviously they're way too selfish to sacrifice themselves. So that's the other thing they can. They brought her camping, and then when she came back, she was really sick. And like I can't go around my dog without like without my mom being weird and stuff, like eggs is a big symbol that like Satanists or Freemasons use, and she'll like open the fridge, she'll be like, oh, we have a broken eggshell. And then right afterwards, after I've told her I don't like, I mean, obviously I get it, I don't like the number 2 being used around me, but 2's freaking number. But she purposely does things to instigate, because it's like, it's not like she's communicating with anyone when she does this. She'll open the fridge and be like, oh, we have 2. They didn't even say 2 what? And then I say, really? And then she goes, what? And then brings a box over with, guess what? 2 bottles. Like, bro. It is, I'm so boring. How could people possibly live that way? And also, like, be proud of being, like, adult bullies. And, like, I don't know, how they depict, like, kid bullies is, like, at least they're, like, doing it, like, well, I don't condone bullying at all, but, like, at least they're, like, not throwing the rock and hiding their hand when you're, like, a kid bully. All these adult bullies throw rocks and hide their hands. It's weak. And then they have to, like, gather up other people to, like, group think and you know, like, it's a big threat to the Matrix and to go against the grain and love yourself, though. But yeah, I will say, like, I've never had a headache that has lasted this long. I've never felt like this kind of, like, faint before. I've had, like, food poisoning before, but that only lasts, like, a day. So I've never really had an illness that has, like, felt this horrible. So, yeah. I'm glad at least the shower takes it away temporarily. And now, instead of, like, the thing being more at the top of my head, now it's more in the back of my head, which is, like, different. And when I first started this video, I started getting, like, pain here for a moment, and then it was, like, behind my eyes and also in the middle of my third eye, but it's, the pressure's not here now. But then I got, like, a little, felt like a booger in my throat, and so that, the whole shower taking it away, and my throat feeling weird, and my third eye more than my crown while doing this video, kind of tells me that, yeah, these ailments are black magic and not me not taking care of myself. But yeah, I guess I'm getting really close to getting my justice, because these handlers and these people are going really hard. I don't know. I think that's it about my life updates. I guess I'll talk about, I'm getting into tensor rings, so hopefully I'll have some of those, like, made soon. I'm excited about that. But if you don't know what tensor rings are, look up tensor rings. And those are supposed to basically heal the water within you and restructure it. And, like, if the problems I'm having have to do with blood or, like, cerebral spinal fluid, like, the tensor ring should be able to help me, and I'm hoping they're going to help my dog Reishi too. So yeah, that's just another update. But thank you guys for listening. And I hope you have, what day is it? It's kind of Monday, so I hope you have a lovely Monday. Mm.